the oil and gas industry in Aberdeen City and Shire face a uniquely difficult set of circumstances at the moment. And I say those things together, oil and gas in Aberdeen City and Shire, because frankly, you can't get a fag paper between them. The two things are too completely intertwined. The well-being of one is really dependent on the well-being of another. The idea today is to try and honestly assess the situation, to identify what the problems are, and if possible, to come up with solutions.
Today is an opportunity for policy and decision makers in all layers of government to join with senior industry representatives, trade unions and academic experts to develop meaningful and sustainable solutions. Certainly, I cannot remember a gathering of so many senior representatives from interested parties in one location at such a critical and indeed opportune juncture in the history of the industry and our region.
The oil and gas industry has been, is and will continue to be an enormous asset to Scotland. And I think it is important that, notwithstanding the challenges we will be discussing this morning, that we recognise and indeed stress that point. As we have already heard this morning from Councillor Laing, the industry supports around 225,000 jobs in Scotland, more than 400,000 jobs across the UK, and it makes an enormous contribution to the economies of both the UK and Scotland.
Aberdeen is recognised as an international hub of expertise for the oil and gas sector. We need to make sure that that position is firmly anchored here for decades to come as we face the challenges of volatile oil prices and operating in a mature basin.
We've got a great industry here. I think it's important, first of all, to point out, though, that some of the challenges that we're currently facing, accentuated by the oil price, were really set up over a couple of decades ago, actually. Through the 90s, there was periods of low oil price, arguably lack of investment in offshore infrastructure. And then through the 2000s, there was periods of fiscal instability. Now, the combination of that and some other factors have led to the rapid decline in production, as you can see on the graph, and also of equally great concern, a calamitous fall really in exploration. And as we all know, it's exploration which provides the future projects and future revenue and jobs for the basin.
I'm going to talk about how we can stimulate investment, because when we look at what's going on in the industry, it was clear from our work that investment was going to fall quite substantially this year and the next few years, even with a $100 price. So when we refreshed that and looked at the $70 price, the prospect was investment is going to fall really quite dramatically over the next few years. And as Sir Ian Wood said in his review, we need to maximise economic recovery, and the key to that is most certainly incentivising new investment.
It's vitally important that we don't delude ourselves into thinking that the real problem is the price fall and that all will be well when the price comes back. The truth is our problems were already of serious concern when the price was $100, and a simple rebound to that level will not resolve matters. However, we can survive and we can prosper, provided we don't dodge the actions which are now required of each of us. And it's of vital national importance that we do so. For without this industry, the Scottish and UK economies stand to be seriously damaged, along with this city's prospects.
Why were all the meetings that we're having now not taking place 3 or 4 months ago? Why was the first time that we were aware of it when they made 300 people redundant? Why was it the first time we were aware of it when companies told their employees that they no longer had a job? Or if they wanted to keep their job, they had to work 3 on, 3 off.
It is vitally important that as we go into the next phase of the oil and gas industry story, that we keep a very clear focus on the key factors which we have discussed today. If and when the oil price recovers, it is also important that we do not take the wealth and success that this industry has brought to our communities for granted. We cannot afford to become complacent again, and I personally am committed to pursuing a city-region deal with both governments. I also acknowledge the encouraging comments we have heard today from the First Minister and the Secretary of State. My view, and we heard from Malcolm Webb, is that a robust city-region deal is deeply intertwined with providing the oil and gas industry and its supply chain with the infrastructure it needs for the industry to commit to Aberdeen for the next 50 years. Thank you very much.